Hello everyone, welcome to the Boleyn Lounge and a walk and talk video with Jeff and Coco. Today I'm going to be talking about our upcoming fixture with Brentford. Come on big girl, this way. Good girl. But before I do, I just want to touch on a couple of observations around the Everton game. It's a little bit late for a review, and I'm sure you've watched everyone else's videos on it. But just a couple of things I wanted to say. I wanted to start off with the atmosphere inside the stadium. I think it's been absolutely terrific in there the last few games, I'll be honest with you. Team's performances have picked up and results have picked up, and that obviously adds to it. But fans have really stepped up to the mark, I think. Coco, this way. And yeah, it's been buzzing in there. In fact, I couldn't give you much of a review because I really got caught up in the whole event on Saturday against Everton. And I was absolutely buzzing with it in there. Second half especially was superb. And the other thing I wanted to really touch on, I don't know if it showed up this way round. Coco, come round here. No, oh, go on then. Was late goal from Everton. Kind of come to expect that from David Moyes' team, don't we? We know what to expect from him. But we get the late goal. They get the late goal, sorry. We do get a later goal. And I don't know if it was noticeable on the TV or any of you that are match-going fans. Please let me know in the comments. But there's a bit of an exodus from the stadium when Everton scored, which I thought was a little bit strange, if I'm honest. I thought it's a time where the boys really need us, get behind them. We really had done during the game. And Everton score an equaliser and place starts to empty out. And I say, I thought it was a little bit odd. We go on to win the game, and all those that are left have missed the winner, and the absolute eruption of those of us that were left in the stadium. There was a fair number, by the way, but I was just surprised the amount of people that got up and left immediately as the Everton goal went in. Now, I'm not being overly critical. People who leave the stadium early, I've openly admitted that I've done it myself on occasions. Usually when I leave early, it's around transport, you know, if we're at a night game, or for example on Easter Sunday, where we have one train an hour, and I want to make sure I get that train rather than get held up and hanging around for another hour. And similarly, when it gets later in the evening, you know, you want to get home. You don't want to be stuck out till midnight, as we often are. This is a Saturday 3 o'clock, so I don't think there's really much problem with transports or getting home 20 minutes later than you might normally do. But anyway, not really a moan, just a bit of an observation. I was a little bit surprised that some of my fellow match-going supporters they sort of down tools and off they went. But anyway, that's my little gripe out of the way. And like I say, do let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section. And now I'll get on to our game against Brentford. And again, we say it every week. It's like such a recurring theme. I can't remember how many times there's been such massive weekends in the Premier League and how much impact there's likely to be on numbers of teams. But it just seems like that is the case absolutely every week now. And this week's no different. Going to the Brentford game, 2 points out of Spurs, and playing before them, so can absolutely put the pressure on them if we get a positive result. And what's the likelihood of that? Well, let's look at the Brentford side. They've not won any of the last 5. So they've lost 1 in 5, but they've drawn all the rest. Similarly, we've only lost 1 in 5, but we've got a couple of wins spattered in amongst those results. So the Brentford team, Kelleher in goal, good goalkeeper. I think lots of us would have perhaps liked to have seen him at our football club through the summer, but not to be. He's got Brentford. But yeah, good goalkeeper. And their fullbacks got influential in different ways, I'd suggest. So you got Coyote, who's long throws, definitely able to influence the game. Coco, come on this way, big girl. Coco. Obviously something really interesting there for her to sniff. And Lewis Potter, the other side, who absolutely can influence games and gets forward. Got an assist and even a goal in him. In the middle of the park, I really quite like that. Jensen, I think he's quite a good midfielder, good player for them. And then other influential players, I think, well, their front four really is Sharda, Damsgaard and Achara. Sharda, we know, perfectly capable of goals and assists. Achara the same. Damsgaard I really quite like as a footballer, and he definitely can contribute with a goal or assist. And then we've got up front for them Thiago, who's got 21 goals this year. I looked up for I came out on this walk. 21 goals, Premier League goals in 34 games. What a brilliant return from him, and what will we do for 20 plus goal a season striker? So that just demonstrates the form that he's been in this year and the threat that he carries. So yeah, there's definitely got players to influence a football match there, no doubt about that at all. So I think we're absolutely going to have a tough game against these, no question. And like I say, they seem to become a little bit of draw specialists in the Premier League at the moment. They're not winning lots of games. And on to us. Well, what are we going to do? What's Nuno going to do? How's he going to approach this game? Well, there's been some speculation between the fan base, often is between games, about whether we should change personnel or formation, for that matter. Be honest with you, considering we've got 7 points out of the last 9, playing with a 4-4-2 formation, I don't see any chance that Nuno's going to change it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really see much reason why he should. So, how's he going to line up? We start with the goalkeeper. Now, I've been quite an advocate of Hermansen in recent weeks. And as I've often said, I don't think there's much between him and Areola. What I will say in the last couple of games that I'm not sure that Hermansen's been as convincing performance-wise in the last couple as he might have been previously. So I'd be quite happy for Areola to come in for this one, to be honest with you. But I'm not sure that Nuno will change it. But for me, I wouldn't mind seeing that change. Coco, can you come this way? Come on. So I think Hermansen's going to start, but I'd quite happily see Areola come in between the sticks for this one, if I'm honest. Then we get to the fullbacks. Again, lots of speculation last week about whether Jeff should start after a less than convincing display against Crystal Palace, but for me, he was in my team, and I think he proved what he should be against Everton. I thought he had a really good game against the Toffees, so he'd absolutely be in at left back for me for this game. Now, don't think there's any debate over who the starting centre backs is going to be. Disassi and Mavropanos are just absolute shoe-ins if they're fit, and as far as I'm aware, there's no question marks over their availability. So they're banging. They've both been absolute man mountains for us in that position and put in some really, really good performances week in, week out. So like I say, they're definitely in, and I'm sure Nuno's going to put them in his team. Right back, I said before, I thought Walker-Peters was a little bit unlucky when Wan-Bissaka came back from the AFCONs just to lose his place immediately, and I didn't think he'd done anything wrong. And he's got his opportunity over the last few weeks, and he's seized it, and I can't see any reason why he's going to change that either. So back four of Jeff, Disasi, Mavropanos and Walker-Peters. And like I said before, I don't think that Nuno's likely to change his formation. And I'm probably one of the advocates, I was going to say, one of the few, I don't think that's fair to say actually, but there seems to be much debate between people about whether we should stick with this formation or not. But for me, I think it works on several levels, so I can see why we would stick with it, and I, like I say, advocate it. So, I mean, there's no surprises with the wide players. Bowen and Somerville, much like Disasi and Mavropanos, they're just nailed on starters. Can't see past them, and can't imagine Nuno's going to change any of that. Middle of the park, I've got to give a shout out to Souček here in the last game against Everton. What a display he put in, and despite having his detractors consistently over probably the last couple of years, he's proven how valuable he is and why he is so valuable to West Ham, with goal scoring contributions and goal saving contributions at the other end. And I think he's doing a fine job against alongside Fernandes in the middle of the park. Like I say, I do think his legs start to run out later in the game, and I would have no problem with him being replaced with 20 minutes or so to go. Shore up the midfield a little bit, fresh legs, happy with that. But yeah, for me, Souček's a starter, and Fernandes is just a conductor of the band, isn't he? So he needs to be in there, no doubt. And then we get down to the front two, and should there be changes? And again, I've seen lots of debates about whether Wilson should be a starter. Came on against Everton, got his goal, and obviously I don't think there's any question that he is the best finisher in the club. But I do think that Tati and Pablo offer a lot more physicality and work rate up there, and I do think that that's what contributes to our success. And I think it's noticeable in games that once we change out Pablo and Tati, we kind of get accused of, or Nuno gets accused of, sitting back and inviting teams onto us. But I think partly is the lack of Pablo and Tati in them moments. So I think they help us to defend from the front. I think they help occupy the centre halves of our opposition, prevent them from coming on to us quite as much as they do once they've been removed from the game. So lots of people say, what did Pablo and Tati bring? Oh, that's it for me. I think they set us up to defend from the front. I think they do a really good job of it. What they don't do a good job of is getting enough chances that they convert into goals. And I think we'd all agree with that, and I absolutely do as well. I mean, there's no argument about that. We could really do with them taking more chances and scoring more goals. But I do think that they bring something to the team and they really help our performances. So for me, I'll be quite happy bringing in a Wilson later in the game, like we did against Everton. But starting the game, Pablo and Tatty for me. So essentially, an unchanged side, and I think that's what's likely to happen. Like I say, I'd certainly advocate a change between the sticks, but I don't anticipate it's going to happen. And now really, all that's left is really the thoughts on what the score prediction might be. Well, what I will do is ask you as if you're new, or if you're not subscribed to the channel. If you do that, it'd be brilliant, really give us a boost. I'd like to thank all those that have come on board in the last week or so while I've been away on the narrowboat. Had a lovely time, by the way, thank you. And thanks to you for joining the channel. Give us a like. Like I say, if you're not subbed, please subscribe to the channel. And now, finally, I'll give you my thoughts, and I'd like you to get involved in the comments. You want to put in your own team selections or your own predictions. Coco, come on, big girl. For the game against Brentford, as you know, those of you do get involved, I try and interact with all of you. So if you leave a comment, I will try and get back to you. Now, I predicted a draw last time against Everton, and it turned out to be a win. And I'm going to do the same again this time, and I hope it turns out to be a win. So I think it's going to be a draw. I hope we're going to win, but my prediction is it's going to be 1-1. Now, like I say, do get involved. Thanks for all of you that watch the channel, and we should be back on Tuesday with a Tuesday talk show, so please come along and join us then Tuesday evening. Until then, enjoy the game this weekend, and come on you Irons.